What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome back to Paris Politics Today. People, trust me when I tell you this. I was not planning on going live today. But when I woke up, him did it again. Him back at it. Right? He don't know when to stop playing. Right? And this time, we're going to laugh about some of the things he's playing with and get down to some serious stuff he's doing. Most of the stuff he's doing is serious, but we laugh it off as a joke. Like, who the hell does that? But he came out today and with his press secretary, I guess, Caroline Levitt, and then she had the Treasury secretary to make this announcement that he's not only going to raise the tariffs on China to 125%, but all the other countries, because they've been so nice. And when he told them they about to pay, they didn't fight back. He going to give them the opportunity. He going to lower their tariffs and postpone stuff for 90 days. So he going to lower theirs to like 10% base rate for the next 90 days. But the only person he got a problem with right now is China. When he barked at them, China barked back. So his feelings is hurt. But it could be some bigger things than that I want to get into later in the show. But here is Caroline Levitt and the Treasury Secretary announcing this thing today.
Latest statement regarding his America First trade plan. As you all know, the president just put out a statement announcing an additional tariff on China. The tariff on China will now go up to 125% because China imprudently decided to retaliate against the United States. And as I said at the podium yesterday, when you punch at the United States of America, President Trump is going to punch back harder. In that same vein, we have had more than 75 countries from around the world reach out to President Trump and his team here at the White House to negotiate better trade deals for the American worker. We have been overwhelmed with the amount of requests from countries around the world. I'll let the Secretary speak to that. We will continue with the tailor-made negotiations that I spoke about yesterday. In the meantime, there will be a 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs as these negotiations are ongoing, and the tariff level will be brought down to a universal 10% tariff. The Secretary here has been a huge part of the President's trade team, of course, and will continue to lead these negotiations moving forward to look out for the American worker, which is always President Trump's goal. So I'll kick it over to our great Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent.
Good, thank you. And we saw the successful negotiating strategy that President Trump implemented a week ago today. It has brought more than 75 countries forward to negotiate. It took great courage for him to stay the course until this moment. And what we have ended up with here, as I told everyone a week ago, they're in this very spot, do not retaliate and you will be rewarded. So every country in the world who wants to come and negotiate, we are willing to hear you. We're going to go down to a 10% baseline tariff for them, and China will be raised to 125 due to their insistence on escalation. And all this was driven by the president's strategy. He and I had a long talk on Sunday, and this was his strategy all along. And that, you might even say that he goaded China into a bad position. They responded. They have shown themselves to the world to be the bad actors, and we are willing to cooperate with our allies and with our trading partners who did not retaliate. It wasn't a hard message. Don't retaliate. Things will turn out well.
Okay, before y'all speak, I want to say this. Look, let's keep this real. Is it strategy? One can say, yeah, you know what? On top of my head, I'm going to say, no, he caved in. Because how can you expect to slap somebody, take their lunch money, and say you better not say nothing? And if you do, then you take their shoes or what else they got. Like, it don't make sense. But my first instinct would be saying that he caved and he was feeling the heat. But then, or maybe it could be two things. On the side, it could be some other things I'm going to get into later. So, but right now, I'm saying he caved, shit was going bad, and stock market was plummeting, and he had to do something. He had his people come out and cry for him. But Sherelle and Pops, what you think?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Are you sure? Because
Yeah.
Go ahead, Pop.
Go ahead, Pops.
Well, I think he got out there and then he had to back up because it wasn't going right for him. So he had to back up. So he had to give himself an out. So that's where I don't think he did it for a good reason. He did it to try to save. He was getting too much pressure. People was coming at him from all angles. And so he backed up. China, nobody cares, really. You care, but you don't care, but you don't care like the whole world. He was against the whole world. So, so I think in the end he'll back all the way down when the public get on him. When the middle class whites keep marching like they're doing.
I feel like he is a total humiliation. He is embarrassing, pathetic, dumb, unwise, and a bully. He really thought that stupid ass plan was going to work. If you retaliate, then it gets worse. That's like you breaking into my house saying, don't call the cops. If you call the cops, I'm going to come back for more. He is ridiculous. He's looking so stupid. A gangster, no. Gangster's got more sense than that. He's a gangster. Dummy.
Gangsters are bullies. Keep you in fear that they're going to do something to you. That's what he is. Or make them gangsters that you scared they're going to hurt.
John Gotti had more class in his pinky and he was a serial unaliver than Donald Trump could ever have. He's pretending to be a bully. He sounds ridiculous.
He's a gangster. He's not pretending.
He ain't no gangster. He ain't no gangster. He's an idiot. He the gangster that get caught and get arrested. He's dumb. He's not a smart guy.
But he's
all
a
that
gangster.
third-grade tactics that he trying to pull makes him look ridiculous. Don't make him look tough and make him look stupid. There's no way in hell. I will guarantee you every last time I got that China's gonna back down. They know he just bluffing. They not backing down. They got just as much as he got, if not more. What he's doing is making an enemy out of China. And then when he gets his silly butt, his back pressed against the wall, then he got to worm his way out of this. How you started it. He started it. And all them other countries that listening, he's stupid. I went to Costco. I just said this on my other channel. I go to Costco down there every day. I usually spend $100. $400 yesterday. He's messing up the country. The whole world market was getting ready to crash. He's unimpressive. Some gangsters you look at and you go, he's smart. He's smart. No, smart and Donald Trump will never be in the same sentence. I just think he's a natural born idiot. And now he's about to embarrass himself. And we are stuck with the consequences of having an idiot for a leader. Because they're going to think all Americans are dumb because y'all voted this man in. You voted this convicted felon that likes to grab women by the pee in the office. It's embarrassing. I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
My point.
Let me see. I'm gonna see if I'm trying to pull up his statement that he pulled out. That
he's a joke.
He posted. Let me see. Okay, this is what Donald Trump posted. He says, based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's market, I am hereby raising the tariff charge to China by United States of America to 125%.
That's
effective immediately. At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off United States and the other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. Conversely, and based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called representatives of the United States, including the Department of Commerce, Treasury, and the USTR, to negotiate a solution to the subject being discussed relative to trade barriers, tariffs, currency manipulation, and non-monetary tariffs, and that these countries have not Countries have not, at my strong suggestion, retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the United States. I have authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lower reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%, also effective immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Pops and Trina.
No, Perry, he's a joke. What I want to know is what's happening with my yaki hair. Am I gonna get it now or I'm not gonna get it? Because it's supposed to be here in 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, if you get it, you might get it in another year or so, or
I
4.
just don't. He's embarrassment. He's just an embarrassment, and nobody likes him. All of those stupid Republicans feel like they have to stroke his ego, but everybody knew this was a mess. And now China knows you're just talking. When you drop the tariffs on everyone else, that doesn't scare them. That's a sign of weakness. You went back on your word, sir. He's always talking about looking strong. You look real weak right now.
Yep.
Real weak.
And I think
everybody through this for no reason. The market was plummeting. He had to do something. I think a third grader can run the country better than he's doing.
But I was going to say this. I think Pops is right. Because like his intentions was to have all these tariffs on all these countries. That was his intention. But the shit went south. Like one day he's adding tariffs because this would create jobs. When shit backfire and he looking stupid, he tried to clean it up and said, I'm removing tariffs because the art of the deal. No, you caved in, sir. You was a bitch. Let's call it that. You was a coward. A draft dodging coward is what he was. But I just wanted to show you that.
Because if you think about it, he backed down from Mexico, right? Because he was talking about crazy. Then he backed down from Canada. Now he lowered everyone's to 10%. They're not going to pay that because they see if they hold their ground like China, he going to back away. That's what I think. Do you think we're going to have tariffs pop?
Yeah, he's going to keep on with it, but until he probably get kicked out because he don't back up. Gangsters don't back up, and that's what he is, a gangster. And they might take you out.
Why do you call him a gangster?
Because he'll kill you. You know.
Like he did that during that assassination? That kid?
Well, about that part. But gangsters uphold, but they uphold by force. You know, they ain't upholding because you please them. Ain't upholding because you think he's a good politician. They ain't upholding nothing. They do everything, keep controlled by gangster. When a gangster beat you up, mess with your family, But
Is there a difference to you? Is there a difference to you between a gangster and a bully?
Yeah, because a bully might let you slide. If I'm this bully, you stand up to the bully, he might let you go. But a gangster ain't letting you go. A gangster's gonna keep on what he's doing.
How can he keep on what he's doing, Pop, when it affects the stock market?
No, I'm saying the people are gonna stop him. But I'm saying he ain't gonna stop himself. He ain't gonna back up.
Do you think that we're gonna eventually have tariffs on these countries, or is he gonna back up? So you're saying he's not gonna back all the way down, right?
He's gonna back down when the American people, the regular American people, middle class people, and upper class white stand up like they're doing. That's what's gonna make him back down. He ain't scared of no other country. The man got nuclear bombs. He more than everybody else. He ain't scared of that kind of stuff.
Do you think other countries fear him?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're scared of him.
Oh, wow. Then how come China's not backing up?
Well, China is different. They just as powerful as he is. So if you got two powerful people, well, the other power ain't gonna back up. He got just as many bombs as United States got. So they don't have to back up, because they know he don't want to fight them no more than they want to fight him.
Yeah.
He's out drop a bomb, they drop a bomb. But the American people is the ones going to solve the problem. It ain't going to be another country. It ain't going to be the other countries that he put on, it's going to be the American people, the everyday American people that's going to take the butt of this, and they're the ones that are going to stop it. They're the ones going to make it stop.
I agree with that. I agree.
When they stand up, you know.
I agree, but I think he doesn't look like a bully. I think he makes himself look foolish, and no one's scared of him. And I agree with Lily in the chat. Every day I wake up and say, "Is he dead yet?" That's what Lily said.
You know what, Sherelle? I think you're right about that. But what Pop's saying, they ain't physically as scared of him personally, but the power that he holds.
Do you think Saudi Arabia is scared of him?
Excuse me?
Do you think Saudi Arabia is scared of him?
Yes. The power, they're afraid of the power he holds.
What power does he have? He doesn't have any allies anymore. What's his power?
It's the power being the president of the United States. The United States is a powerful nation.
With nuclear weapons.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So that's more of a physical threat is what they worried about.
I just don't see it. I think he showed his hands at this time, and I think he's all talk and no bite, all bark and no bite.
Saying I agree with you. That's what the person.
That's what the Mexicanos thought too. That he all talk and no bark. The man is barking and biting shit. He ain't backing up. You see the Mexicans thought the same thing. We vote for him and let him see we support them. He'll back up. Did he back up? No. He ain't back up.
I'm as scared of Donald Trump as I am a third grader. He just doesn't frighten me. I think he's a lot of talk. He ain't doing nothing. Nothing. He's just all talk and show. What did you say yesterday? He put on a show for the cameras.
Right. No, he
do all that too, but he's a gangster. He ain't putting up. He is not putting up. He's a gangster. And other gangsters with him now. A gangster is more than a bully. Because a bully, try to bully you, you stand up to a bully, most times he's going to back down, you know. But Trump ain't just bullying, he's doing what he say he's going to do.
No, Pop, look, Sammy the Bull is a gangster. Donald Trump is a lying, convicted felon that got locked up in his president.
Sammy the Bull is a killer.
Exactly.
You know,
he's a gangster. I would be scared of Sammy before I'm scared of Donald Trump. I think he showed his hand, but we'll see if you guys are right. But right now, I'm not scared of Donald Trump. I think he's all talk, no bite. I think he's an idiot, and he's running the country like he's in 5th grade. And bullying ain't gonna work. You cannot run a country by bullying people.
If you're a bully, you're a bully. You
right.
Can't stop that. If you're a bully, you're just a bully.
If he's such a big bully, why he always pick on the little guy? Why don't he stand up to Putin?
He can't. That would make sense.
He's not a gangster.
No, he's not a gangster. I mean, like, no. I wouldn't call him a gangster. I would call him a bully, right? Because he personally won't do nothing. But if he's given a certain superpower, like being the president, he'll use things around him to do his dirty work. Like when he was a failure in business, he used the laws to file bankruptcy, things like that. But let me read this real fast. It says, Notoria says, if China calls in its loan, he will bankrupt our country. They own our debts.
Yep.
I get that too, and I don't know the answer to this, but I might say this and want to take it back. But how can you call in something if they call in a loan and we didn't want to pay them? Then I guess we would just have to fight, right? So at a certain point, we owe them money. But if we say we ain't paying them no more, I guess it would just come down to war then, right?
I mean, I feel like he's looking for that.
Right. No, Trump is. Right, yeah. Trump won't.
Do you feel like he's looking for a war?
Maybe. He might.
Yeah.
All this green room talk and Panama Canal talk. You think he's scared?
I don't think he's scared of a war. I think a war would benefit him.
Right. He's not afraid of a war because he don't have to suit up. He's a draft dodger. So that's what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't call him a gangster because he ain't really physically going to go out there and do the shit himself. But when you give him this power and these worker bees around him, he send their asses out there. You know.
Pop, didn't you say in the 60s that a lot of people were protesting the war? Because America, we don't like war. So if he starts a false war, won't the people turn against him?
I think at this point it would, but it depends what the war was about. You
Right.
know, if somebody mistreated the United States and everybody can obviously see it, then war is okay. Everybody would support it. But if he just make a war for no reason at all, he won't get no support.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this though. So wake up this morning. This what the idiot done, right? He don't reverse it. Well, and why I call him an idiot, I don't think he should have all those tariffs the way he had them last week on these nations, these countries anyway. But for him to be so tough one day and then come back the next day and crumble when the stock market is falling and all his billionaire friends calling him up and say, "Hey man, what's going on?"
Yeah.
And I want to get into bigger talk about that in a few minutes. But after him doing this, freeing all the other countries from all these high tariffs that he was implementing, the stock market went up. Here we go.
Picked up by the stock market there, and you can see the Dow Jones now up to about 5% up. They are picking up on this 90-day pause. Now, this was a pause that was asked for by some of his very wealthy donors, hedge fund people, who said that the best thing to do in this situation is to have a 90-day pause, have what they would call in America a timeout, and let things settle down. And the crucial thing about a 90-day pause is it allows time for these negotiations to take place, and for these negotiations to take place in a much calmer atmosphere. And you can see there, the Dow is increasing pretty lively, up 5%, over 5%, heading up.
Did I think I must have messed up. It was another part. Anyway, but so the Dow did go up, right? Now the whole thing is this, but the Dow went up, and this is where I'm having a problem with. I want the chat to help me. I want Pops and Sherelle to answer this for me. I feel like he caved in. I feel like shit was getting thrown at him. He felt like he was underwater. But he came out on Truth Social and posted this. He says, "This is a great time to buy." Then caves on tariffs. Hours later, market surges. Middle-class investors who sold during this chaos lost big. Is this like an insider thing that he could have did? Now I'm saying, because I feel like he
inside trading.
Yeah, I feel like he caved in. You know how like you can cave in, like dig yourself in a big hole, but then you can, to come out of it, you can find yourself a promising opportunity. Because his intention was to put these tariffs on people, I believe, and be this worldwide bully. Shit went bad. It went bad. But then when his advisors, his billionaire friends ran in to say, "Look at here, man, we need to do something about that," they reversed it in a positive way. He came out there and said, "It's a time to buy now," saying, "Look, wink, wink. Stocks are low. You can buy now because I'm about ready to make this statement that's going to push the market up." I feel like he caved in, but now his people want to make it seem like it was all a strategy. And if any part was the strategy part would be that get the stock market to fall and have your billionaire friends buy it up. But I don't think that was the initial purpose. I think his initial purpose was to be a bully, and then they fell back to the second plan. What do you guys think?
I want to know, why ain't he being arrested right now for insider trading? They took Martha Stewart away. He just committed a crime in broad daylight.
Mm-hmm.
No one said anything. In broad daylight, he just did inside trading. that can get you locked up.
Right.
No one said anything. And listen, I seriously, I
They
don't
got
think
him. He's above the law now.
so. He thinks.
No, they made him above the law.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They can't
You're
touch
right.
him unless he really kills somebody or something. But right now, he's above the law. They passed a law that the president is above the law. That's exactly what he acted like.
Because he came in broad daylight and committed insider trading.
But listen, I don't believe that his rich partners was getting mad because cutting in on their money with the stock stuff. So they got mad. Okay, told me you got to knock it off, get back straight. But he don't give a damn about the regular working people, and that's who's gonna get him. He can kiss up to the rich people all he want. In the end, the regular people is the ones gonna be in the street marching, shutting the damn government down, and either get him kicked out. But that's who's gonna get him. The little people that he think can't do nothing to him is the ones who's gonna get him. Mark my words. That's who's gonna shut him down. The regular people are gonna shut him down. The government, the rich people ain't gonna shut him down because they're making money. But the regular people are gonna shut him down. That's who's gonna run him out of town. Is the regular people, and they ain't gonna know what to do. People, they're gonna turn on the Republicans. Gonna start turning on them when they start seeing that the people turning on the Republican Party because of it. They're gonna jump off board real quick. They all kissing up to him right now, but after a while, give it a little while, they're gonna be jumping off the bandwagon. Everybody gonna be against him. You'll see. What he's trying to do, it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. The rich people ain't gonna. The rich people is who he's trying to please, but the poor people is the ones that's gonna, and the middle class people and the upper class people is the ones gonna give him the regular people.
Well,
I just want to know, why did he just commit a crime in broad daylight and nobody said anything? That's what I'm stuck on.
They passed that law and made it where he really untouchable now. They passed the law that the president, you might well say, is untouchable. Unless, I don't know about if he killed somebody, but he all these little crime stuff they gave him a pass to do what he wanted to do.
I'm trying to tell you, if Barack Obama was giving a speech to millions of people and he did some inside trading right in front of the world, it would have been a whole different story. Yes, Pop, you are right. He is above the law.
Right.
You see what they didn't have, and then with Barack Obama, Clinton's, and all the rest of them, he the first president that's damn near immune from prosecution. They passed a law that he was damn near can't do nothing to it. He the first one had that power. The rest of them could go to jail. The rest of them could get prosecuted. But when they passed that law,
you know how long we had to put up with Bill Clinton and that girl? What was her name with the cigar?
Monica
Lewinsky. That was the biggest thing. Oh, how could he? Oh, wow. Oh, he needs to be impeached. But Donald Trump gets to commit inside trading in broad daylight.
Right. And, that's what they voted for, because he's the first convicted felon to be president. So things changed. He got the Supreme Court. But let me play this clip on this guy getting into this, what we was talking about, how he could have manipulated things.
At 9:37 a.m., Donald Trump put on Truth Social, "This is a great time to buy," 3 exclamation points, all caps. Then a handful of hours later, he announces a 90-day pause on all tariffs that he's been threatening except for China. And he says 10% across the board. So my question is, how is this not market manipulation? If you're a Trump supporter and you did what he said and you bought, then you did great. On the other hand, if you're a retiree or a senior or somebody in the middle class over the last few days that didn't have the tolerance for risk and you decided to sell, you got screwed. So I'm curious why Donald Trump thinks that he can just post things like this on Truth Social. This is market manipulation at its worst.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, see, I agree. But this is what I needed y'all help with to help me make my decision up. You in the chat. So I feel like he caved in. But, and his billionaires friends losing all this money, they came and said, well, hey, You got to stop the bleeding. But while you stopping the bleeding, here's an opportunity for us to make a lot of more money. But if you're gonna fix the problem, let us go ahead and buy up more shit. That they was upset when they lost money. But now, if we know you about ready to reverse it, they came in and brought more stocks or anybody with money. But the other people, seeing their stocks drop every day, was in fear, sold their stocks at a low price. When it drops, you selling it for a low price. So, and these people still gonna buy while the stock market is low. If you sold low, people gonna buy it low, and they know just because you about ready to change the damn direction of where this country going by making this statement, they went and brought up a lot of shit.
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
They lost money at first, and they went to him, hey, you got to stop it. But now, did he cave in? Would y'all say he caved in? Put a 1 in the chat if you think he caved in. I at least need to answer that. Pops, do you think he caved in? And then we'll get to the money part later. Yes or no? Do you think he caved in?
No.
You don't think he caved in? Sherelle, do you think he caved in?
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
I'm saying caved in as a part. I'll make sure you understand what I'm saying, Pops. Did he cave in? He got himself in some deep shit when the stock market was low.
When you say caved in, what do you mean?
Okay, when I say caved in, I'm meaning that he got himself into trouble and he was looking really bad. Stock market was plummeting. Caved in mean switch gears. Now you're going to release the tariffs. Either you're going to implement these tariffs that you've been boastfully bragging about. Good, people say he caved in, right? So either you're going to implement them. If you ain't going to implement them, why keep talking about them? And that's what he was doing. I'm doing this. And places that don't even have humans on the island.
Well, cave in is something like, when you say cave in, you mean switch gears?
Punked out, became a coward. Like,
back down.
Yeah, back down.
Yeah, he definitely backed down, yeah, without a doubt.
Right. But then the other question is, do y'all feel like when he came out and made that statement, it's time to buy now because he knew he's about ready to go out here and make this statement and the stock market was going to go up? Now, do you think that he gave all his billionaire friends the idea
beyond a reasonable doubt, insider trading was going on. He probably hung up the phone, said, watch this. Y'all go do this, that, and I'm about to say this and that. I mean, he probably has a private line to Wall Street.
And brought some for himself because he broke.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
he didn't put all his stuff in trust like the other presidents did. He didn't put nothing in trust. And he broke. So he passing and doing stuff to make himself money.
Yeah.
And the rich people take advantage of it.
That's messed up. I mean, that's how he'll do the American people. And you right, Pops. He don't care about the if you ain't a billionaire and can do something for him, he don't give a damn about you. Let's keep it that way. And that's how he played America. And most people look at it as a win. He did this. He damaged the country with his stupidity by raising all these tariffs, the stock market plummeting, innocent people. And even his billionaire friends lost money, but they still had money left. People lost everything. And then he come back and change it. The people who lost everything don't get a damn thing back. His rich people recoup theirs and plus more. I think it's messed up. And that's who we got for president. That's who we got. And then I wanted to say this yesterday too, because I talked about on a video yesterday, and I want to make sure people understood because I didn't really say it the right way. When I was talking about mass deportations, I was talking about that he ain't fulfilling his promise as these big numbers. So when I was saying he ain't doing what he said he was, and as a photo op, he did the photo ops of it to let you know I am doing this and to strike fear in people. But I am not telling people it's safe to go out. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll pick up an innocent person, right? And I'm basically saying that it was sort of when I come up here and say, oh, it's not that bad. I didn't want to come across saying it's not that bad or it's not really happening. It's happening. And when I spoke about other presidents doing it, yeah, they did it. But they did it in a humane way when people either crossed and you might send them back over. He just doing it in a foul ass way. You ain't even got to be here, did crimes or anything. he's gonna try to ship you out. So I ain't want nobody to get the wrong message.
I mean, that when Pop is talking about he a gangster, that's where he's a real gangster because people are missing. There's no paperwork on these people. Crazy.
Yeah, it's none. I mean, he just running foul, but I think when those stock markets drop like that, he became tamed all of a sudden, or like he was running wild. When things start going back, he had to go and soak it up, eat a Big Mac or two because he loved McDonald's, and then realize, hey, let me try to change it because he'll flip-flop on you every day. He's like a used car salesman, but he definitely ain't a gangster. He a coward. He a coward in chief. That's what I think. And as far as TikTok, I heard too on Fox News Business today, they saying that all that is definitely off. Now it's off today. It's April. And this might be my prediction. I think I could be wrong. I'm gonna just say this. I think he went through all this and talking all this shit about China. I think he'll cave in on that too. That's just my belief. Could be wrong. I think he'll cave in on it. And I say he'll cave in on it in the next 90 days because he gave everybody else the 90 days. About 90 days, he'll come back. Oh, yeah, I scared China so bad, and they gave me this favorable deal because he's one of those people that always got to come out to look like the winner. No matter what it is, he got to come out looking like the winner, the art of the deal, shit like that. Sherelle, Pops, anything on that?
Child, we're going to wrap it up early today because
Yeah.
ain't too much more to say.
Nope.
There's not too much more to say. He's an idiot, and now we have to see what China does next.
I think in the long range plan, I just believe that the Democrats ain't gonna stop him. They're gonna try, but it ain't gonna work. The people that's gonna stop him is the regular people that you're gonna see out in the streets. It's gonna stop him and maybe put him out of office. But the stuff he tried to do is never going to work, And China been put stockpile and weapons and everything else to fight the United States. But the United States got just as many guns as they got. But I don't think they're scared of the United States.
China, no.
Nobody's scared of the United States anymore. They know Trump is a bully. And I agree with this comment. Panelists says that he'll cave on China in a week and say he won. That's exactly
right.
what he's going to do.
Bigly. He won big. That's what he'll say.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Thank you, Kerry.
But people, that's all I actually have for today because I wasn't really going to come on, but I thought we really needed to talk about it. So hopefully I will try to find some stuff tomorrow to try to come on because the day I supposed to have been off. But I want to thank you guys for coming in. Please hit the like button if you haven't. And Pops or Sherelle, you got anything to say before I bounce out?
I'm all talked out.
Okay, Pops.
It's going to be okay.
Well, y'all heard it, everybody. Pop said everything's going to be all right. Okay. All right. Thank you guys for coming on through. Let's say bye. 1, 2, 3.
Bye everybody.